Hello everybody, welcome to this week's installment of Layman's View, where we review a week that was. I'm Ntobeko Khuluse. We had yet another busy week where there are some big stories that happened. And if you've got a big story that stood out for you, please take some time to go into our comment section and tell us which story stood out for you. I'll tell you about some of the stories that stood out for me. One of the stories that stood out for me is Bongani Baloyi joining MK Party. MK Party has become a political magnet. It's a political magnet because if you remember when the MK was founded, most of people that were joining MK and that eventually voted for MK in their numbers were saying, asibizwanga, siyayiyela. So, abantu abathanda MK bathi, hayi, no, asikhankaswa thina. Siyayisukela, sambe siyoyijoyini MK. Thina siyakuyona, akuyona ezakuthina. So, it's been a political magnet since its inception. Now, after elections, it's not only a political magnet for, ordinary members or ordinary members of the public. It's a political magnet for big names in politics. People are leaving their own political parties to join MK. It's something that when you think about, it just doesn't make sense. You're like, how? I mean, Untogozo on last week's Layman's View told us about Colleen Makubele, who joined MK, left her own party that she founded. Now we are talking about Bongani Baloyi, who has left his own party, Xiluva, to join MK. And if you look at Bongani Baloyi's political history, recent history, he was in the DA, then he went to Action SA, then he started his own political party. I believe that is his history. You would not have expected him that he'll be one of the people that will join MK Party, because phela umuntu obekade kwi-DA awumlindele ukuthi angakholelwa ku former President Jacob Zuma. But that is what is happening. So MK is a political magnet. The founding president of EFF Student Command, that is Mpho Morolane, has joined MK. I know that EFF is saying, he was not our member anymore, so he mustn't say he's resigning from the EFF. But the fact is, this is not an ordinary member of EFF. This is the founding president of EFF Student Command, and he has joined MK Party. What is this political magnet that MK has? That these big names, alogu attractega nje sondela kwi-MK, because siyazi ukuthi sonke sikhuluma ngoFloyd Shibambu and we spoke about Layman. So you can see that a lot of political leaders are joining MK. I do have one worry though. I do have one worry if I think of MK and what is happening and this fast growth. How will the MK Party accommodate all of these big names? These are people that were leaders in their own political parties. Okusho ukuthi la bephuma khona bekukhalesaba isicathulo. So labantu sebeza kwi-MK bazothi bathi bakha le force njengoba bethi bayahlangana wonke lama political parties. How will they all lead? Will they give each other space to lead together? Because in my thinking, political leaders have egos. And that's why when they leave, in some of them, they don't join other parties. They start their own parties. So now you've got these political leaders, big names, who have joined the MK. How will they stay together in the MK? How will they be accommodated? All of them. How will they be kept happy over a period of time? When elections come, of party leaders. I know with MK, that's not going to be anytime soon. But that should be very interesting because these are big names. And the question is, who's next? Who is next to join the MK? Because something is happening there, the MK, that political leaders are seeing and they feel like, you know what? We want to benefit as well. Or they want to play a role. That's what they say. They want to contribute, in building South Africa. Not necessarily that they want to benefit themselves. And we believe them. I know we do. So who do you expect to join MK next? And what are your thoughts about these big names joining the MK? How will they be kept happy there? I would love to know your thoughts. Please do go ahead on our comment section and share your thoughts about this MK being a political magnet. Another story that stood out for me is Sello Chicco Twala. Chicco Twala uthe ephesheya kwilwandle ngokusho kwakhe ingane zakhe ezu2 zombili uLongwe Twala siyamazi uLongwe ngoba usematheni ngendaba yecala lika Senzomeyiwa bese kuba no Sello Junior Twala uthi bangena emzini wakhe bantshontsha equipment that is worth 200,000 rands. And when he came back udecide ukuyovulela ingane zakhe icala. Before ngiqhubeke nestory, I'd like to pause there. Chicco Twala udecide ukuyovulela ingane zakhe, his own children. He opened a case against them at the police station. Njengomzali, you're watching right now. As a parent, would you do that? If uthola ukuthi ingane zakho zisecaleni noma zisephutheni, uzowenze njani? Ungahamba uyoyireport emaphoyiseni noma uzoyivikela wena umzali, uyivikele zone wena kodwa uyivikele uthi no ingane zami. So kwenziwe uChicco Twala akujwayelekile. Let's be honest. Akujwayelekile kakhulu ukubona umzali hamba yovulela ingane zakhe icala enkantolo, a police station. So I'd love to know from you, if you as a parent, if you find that your children have transgressed or they have committed crime, would you go to the police station and open a case against them? Ube willing ukuthi abalale enkantolo mina estoksini. Ube willing ukuthi abagwetshwe. Your own flesh and blood, would you do it? I don't know. I don't know if I'd do it. I'd love to say I'd do it. But think about it. Masewenzeka. Would you really do it? I'd love to know your thoughts on that one. But just going back to the Chicco Twala story. So, ingane za Chicco Twala, both well, in fact, uLongwe uvelile enkantolo icala lakhe lihlehlisiwe ukuthi ulizoqhubeka azobingelela imanje, or yes, for a bail rather. I believe it's going to be on the 12th of September. That's when uLongwe Twala ezophinda vele khona enkantolo. Kanti uSello Junior Twala yena amacala adropiwe against yena because of lack of evidence. That's what police have said. So all charges have been dropped against Sello Junior. But for me, this is an incredible story, mind-boggling. A friend of mine came up with a conspiracy theory. Ukuthi njalo nje uma ngabe ke kwa mentionwa uLongwe Twala, Chicco Twala does something about ngey'ngane zakhe, complaining ngazo, abangumsindo ngey'ngane zakhe, to try and divert i-attention ukuthi singafocus ecaleni lameyiyo. Uthi njalo nje makwa mention uLongwe Twala ecaleni lameyiyo, uChicco Twala does something ezofuna ukuthi sifocus kuyona. In his view, uChicco Twala is protecting i-image yalongwe Twala ngoba akafuni ukuthi abantu babheke kuleli cala likaSenzomeyiwa. But this is a friend of mine who was talking to me in a private conversation, and I thought that was a fascinating conspiracy theory. I would love to know from you if you believe that conspiracy theory, or it's not a conspiracy theory, you believe that it's the truth, that's what it is, that's what he's doing. Njalo mabe content akalayo uya divert attention ufuna focus kwenye into, not ecaleni liga Senzomeyiwa. So yeah, that's a fascinating story. I found that story to be fascinating. I'm extremely fascinated about it. So I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Second last story, in fact, this is not the second last story, but another story that I just want to touch on that stood out for me that happened this week is the story of Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development, that is Thembi Simelane. So sonke siyazi, I mean, I think that story has been in the news that she benefited by, well, she got a loan, maybe let me use the correct words. She got a loan, according to her, from a company that benefited from VBS. And ngale loan ayitholile leyo company ibizwa ngokuthi Gundo Wealth Solutions. Leyo lona ayitholile wathatha ngayo wathenga i-coffee shop in Sandton, Johannesburg. So njengoba nje sekuvelile bonke labantu because le mali phela njengoba le company ya benefita eVBS buye ngathi yagcina ichurch ekwazile nayo ukuyitshela kanti ukukhumbula ukuthi futhi nePulukwane municipality ayimeya yayo ngaleso sikhathi yake ya investor imali ku-VBS, kanti i-municipality ngokomthetho ayivumelekile uku-investa imali kwi-mutual bank. Kumele ba-invest imali mabefuna uku-invest imali kuma-commercial banks. So abantu bakubuka ngokuthi why-invest imali kwi-VBS as i-municipality emva kwalokho yena on a personal level imali yahamba yaya kule company ekuthiwa iGundo Wealth Solutions. Emva kwalokho wakwazi na ukutshelekwa iGundo Wealth Solutions leyo mali. Abanye bathi kungenzeka ukuthi khona i-corruption ebekhona lapho. Kodwa uMinister Thembi Simelane uvelile izolo on a Friday phambi kwe-Committee on Justice and Constitutional Development. She says, I did nothing wrong. I'm innocent, basically. That's what Thembi Simelane is saying. She's saying, I did nothing wrong. There was nothing improper with what happened. This money was a loan that I borrowed, and it's a loan that I have repaid in full. And she explained why she delayed repaying the money. She, all of that, and basically the parliamentarians were asking tough questions. In fact, one of the things that parliamentarians asked for is evidence. Ukuthi kwakhona signed documentation yokuthi this was a loan, because parliamentarians are saying, how do we know that this was a loan if there was no paperwork? So this is a fascinating story. It's a fascinating story because we're waiting to see if the president Ramaphosa will take any actions against Thembi Simelane, and how this story will develop as time goes on, because we know that VBS is a big story and a lot of people suffered because of VBS corruption. And the president, despite some people saying he's a corrupt man himself because of Pala, but he came in the tickets of clean governance. And some, and some believe that he hates corruption. So if he hates corruption, the question is, will he act against Minister Thembi Simelane? Or there's no need for him to act against Minister Thembi Simelane because she did nothing wrong. That's what she's saying. So yeah, it's yet another fascinating, very interesting story. So I would love to know your thoughts on this story in particular. What do you think of what Minister Thembi Simelane has said when she was answering question to the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Constitutional Development? Very interesting. Just as we approach the end, Ronan Williams has been nominated for a FIFA's Ballon Yashin Trophy. He's the only African that has been nominated for that trophy. So we are crossing fingers, hoping that he will be shortlisted and eventually win it, because he has done exceptionally well. Be it you look at his performance at Mamelodi Sundowns or his performance in the Bafana, he has done a sterling job, beautiful job. So he deserves this nomination. He deserves this nomination, and we as South Africans, as Africans, we are rallying behind him. You know, we are saying he should bring it home. We are proud. We are really proud. This is for the very first time where someone from South Africa is nominated for this for this trophy. So I really, really hope that, you know, he gets it. It will be a proud moment for us as South Africans, be it you are a Mamelodi Sundowns fan, Kaizer Chiefs fan, Orlando Pirates fan, or AmaZulu fan. It's a big thing for us as South Africans. So yeah, well done and congratulations to Ronan Williams. We are crossing fingers, hoping that he brings it home, he comes back with it. To wrap it up, we're gonna end it on a somber note from the news that came out today, in fact, yesterday on a Friday, ngokudlula emhlabeni kuka Mapaputsi. His real name is Sandile Ngwenya. May his soul rest in peace. I mean, Mapaputsi is a legend. Angimazi wena ukuthi yiphi ingoma mazi ohlala umkhumbula ngayo. But for me, it has to be Zinja. It has to be Zinja. Hobana bakum Zinja la. Aye, man. Aye. Mapaputsi was a legend. You know, he has opened doors for many musicians. Some were looking up to him. Ukuze babe naba musicians bangene kwi industry. So we thank him. We thank him for his contribution. He has played his part, and may his soul rest in peace. We will celebrate his legacy, and his name will live on because his music is timeless. There is Mapaputsi. So to his family, his fans, his friends, condolences to everyone that is close and that loved Mapaputsi. There was this week's Layman's View, where we review a week that was. I am Ntobeko Khuluse. Tomorrow on a Sunday, I'll be back with Ntokozo Chapa. We've got a brand new episode that will be dropping for you. Please make sure that you don't miss it. And remember to subscribe, share this video, and comment. We love knowing your comments. We love hearing your views and thoughts on these stories that stood out to us. But also, if there's a story that I didn't mention, but you thought it was an incredible story and it was a trending story, please feel free to go into the comment section and share your thoughts. We will definitely engage with your comment as well. Have a great one.